I think we're gonna do. I think we're gonna call this late night tea with G. It's in the evening. It's actually late evening, and it's been quite a while since I've recorded a video. And I think my last video, I should have checked before. It's like always flying by the seat of my pants, people. I think my last video was December 30th. And on December 30th, I had no idea that I wasn't going to come back for this long. Truth is, I needed a break. And I'm still kind of on a break. I'm not as active on social media. I'm not consuming much content on YouTube. I haven't responded to my email. So if you've sent me email recently, as far back as last summer, I'm sorry. I just have not, I've not had the energy to answer email. I plan to read my email at some point, dedicate some time where I go through my email, and I just want to take this opportunity that if you're watching me and you sent me an email, thank you. I really appreciate you reaching out. I appreciate your emails. I appreciate all of you who email me because you purchased my book and it meant something to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right now, though, I have to tell you, this is going to be just one of those, let's talk a little bit about how things are going with me. A little update. It's depth year. And for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, you don't know what depth year is, do a Google search. There's an article about depth year and what it is. It's about, I'll give you the Coles Notes. It's basically where you take a year to go deeper into your interests or deeper into your studies or whatever it is that you want to go deeper into, instead of dabbling and being all over the place and being a magpie and all this stuff where you know, it's a focus. It's a focus here. For me, I think the word focus works better. Now that I'm saying it out loud, why didn't I just call it a focus here? A focus, for me, it's a year of focus. It's a year of going inward. It's a year of focusing on my own practice instead of looking at what's going on in the world at large. I'm drinking some tea. It's some creamy peppermint. Yeah, it's creamy peppermint tea. So here we are. It's almost mid-February. And if I wasn't recording tonight, I don't know when I would record. So it's not that I've lost interest in YouTube, and it's not that I've lost interest in the outside world, or or my virtual friends or real friends for that matter, in real life friends. It's just that it's been a very I've been craving to go inward, and of course on the heels of 2021, that was all about that started with the end of 2020, right? The summer of 2020, but 2021, that was all about the deck overwhelm and the consumerism overwhelm, the shopping overwhelm. How 2021 was a year I realized that I was self-medicating and numbing with impulse purchases and buying a whole bunch of shit I didn't need. And then I spent the latter half of 2021 really, paring down my tarot and oracle deck situation. where I am right now with that is pretty much, if I were I think aside from a few decks, like a handful, that includes Oracle and Tarot, excuse me, I'm pretty much back to where I was in 2018. I think what I'm trying to say is that the decks I ended up keeping for the most part were the ones I got early on and the ones I already had for decades. So here we have it. That's where I'm at. Discernment has finally come home, and it's been an experience. I'm sorry, this is like a 6 minutes. I haven't said anything. So in this video, what I want to do is I want to talk to you about my depthier goals, although I don't find that word really fits anymore. It's more about focus and going inward. And it's a habit-breaking year for me. It's last year, 2021 was a habit-breaking year for me. And 2022 is developing new, healthier habits. And I thought maybe I'd revisit some of my goals that I set for myself for 2022. Some of these goals evolved, even in the short time that we've been in the new year. So over the month of January, my goals had already evolved. So I had started out that it was going to be a depth year, but now I feel like it's, the term that better suits it is going inward and focus and concentration. You know what I mean? Concentrating and focusing, and it's a year of dedication, really, to the things that matter. Some of the things I set for myself, some of the goals surrounding depth year is return to my hobbies. So it's almost mid-February and I haven't really, like today I crocheted something and I had to undo it. But that's progress because I hadn't created anything. And we had, anecdotally, I didn't look it up and I'm not a scientist or a meteorologist, but from anecdotally, my experience, we've had this year the coldest winter, the more sustained winter weather than we've ever had since coming to live here in the interior of British Columbia. And I have lots of winter clothes, and I'm a cozy person. I love cozy. I hate the summer. And you know what I mean? It's like, look at any of my videos from summertime. It's like, I hate summer. But I didn't have the opportunity to make anything. You think that, oh, well, I would have been crocheting or knitting or making some stuff. I didn't even wear most of my scarves and whatever. And it's like, just because it was a general, malaise is not even the right word. It was more like I was feeling like I was in a holding pattern and not really interested in stuff. Now, those of you that are armchair psychologists, psychiatrists, or whatever, yeah, okay, there was a little bit of depression there. You know what I mean? It's like when you lose interest in things you love and all that stuff. Yada, yada, yada. But seriously, who isn't feeling that right now? Not many people. I think we at least all have that in common, that malaise or feeling like you're in a holding pattern. So, hang on, I'll just have a sip. So, returning to hobbies, reading more, which, reading fiction, Because you know what? Yeah, I read a lot of nonfiction and a lot of work-related content, but I was really missing reading fiction. And I reread Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, which um, I thought that was a I thought that would be a great idea to do at the start of this year. To start with, it's my favorite novel of all time. I started it on audiobook, during my, because I have like a 1 hour commute to work and almost an hour back, right? Daily. And I started it on audiobook. And then when I got to the end of the book, I listened to the audiobook and read along with my copy. And that had been the first fiction novel I'd read in quite a long time. The next, and I have 2 books going now simultaneously because that's the way I am. I have Le Petit Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. In French, I'm reading The Little Prince. And I'm also, and you would think I would have finished, but you know what, people? I left Montreal in 1998. I'm fluent in French, but I'm slow. I'm slow reading because I don't want to just buzz through it. I actually want to think about what I'm reading, right? Reflect on what I'm reading. And the other book I have on the go, I have it on Audible, and not sponsored by Audible, people. I've been paying for that freaking membership since inception of Audible. Anyway, Anna Karenina is the other book that and that's the book I'm listening to, and I really like it. It's narrated by Maggie Gyllenhaal. I just butchered her name. She's great. But I also have the hardcover book, the physical copy. And I've been dipping into Anna Karenina, and it's a story that I know, but I also am revisiting books I've read before just to get my feet wet back into reading fiction. So there's that. The next part of my focus here was no buy. The other goal I set was a no buy year, and that too evolved. Not because I needed to make excuses, not because I needed to have exceptions, because I feel that this is a lifestyle change. I equate my focus year to the same thing I did when I made lifestyle changes in 2015. I started the keto diet to reverse type 2 diabetes, which I have and I maintain. I maintain this lifestyle since 2015. So I equate this focus here to a lifestyle change, a healthier way of being. And when I threw the idea out, like the goal out of no buy, I also had to, it was just to put the brakes on what I was doing in order to better understand what I was doing and what I wanted to change. What it's turned out to be so far, now it's almost mid-February, is a no shopping year. There's a difference. It's not that I'm not buying anything, I'm not shopping. And that is, I am not mindlessly shopping online to relieve stress, to numb, to self-soothe, to self-medicate, to fill the hole. I'm not doing, since December, since late December 2021, I have stopped that behavior of shopping, whether it's online or at brick and mortar stores. I've had the experience of having to go out to purchase replacement things of what I needed for the home, for myself, for personal care, whatever, and really put the brakes on the impulse purchases, right? The shit that we see. Ooh, I'm gonna try this. Ooh, I'm gonna try that. No. That is self-esteem building. I don't, that's the only way I could describe it. It actually has helped me with it's a mindful purchasing. There have been no impulse purchases since I made these goals. And since I set these goals, there's been no mindless. And if there, no, see, I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to lie to myself either. Primarily, I don't want to lie to myself. Where if there has been a couple, and I've returned them. I've returned the item, because that's not how I want to be anymore. I want to be mindful. I want to be creative, and I want to live simply, the way I used to before I got sucked into the madness. So for my no shopping goal, simply put, essential consumables, well, those are exempt, and that's whether it's for the household, my personal care, and also for spiritual items, spiritual consumables. What are we talking about here in this sphere? Of course, if I need candles, if I need Florida water, if I need, because I use a lot of Florida water at work primarily, to cleanse my space, because it dissipates. It's beautiful. It's brilliant. It dissipates quickly, like it does its job. It cleanses the environment, and then it's gone. And I'm a healthcare professional. I can't be burning incense in my examination room. That would not be okay. At least not for the health authority would not be okay with that. And what else? So those things are exempt because I use them up and they're gone, right? So of course, my refill, my prayer candle refills from St. Joseph's Oratory gift shop and that kind of stuff. Those are consumables. But I'm not accumulating stuff. These are consumables. I replace what I use when they're consumed. When I use them up, I replace them again. If I need something that's not a consumable, I will check secondhand first. No, well, first I'll see if I have something that does the same job, and if not, then I'll get secondhand. Services, I'm gonna go. I'm not a person who pays for a lot of services, and so that's a no-brainer for me. And also, instead of, I've replaced mindlessly shopping with looking through my house, like opening up drawers, opening up closets, cupboards, seeing what's there, and truly like seeing what's there, like taking inventory, taking stock, taking inventory. And if I don't use it, I release it. So one big job I've been doing in the new year was we moved my bookshelves. Those of you who have been watching from the early days, my bookshelves that were behind me in my videos, We moved them to a different side of the room, and then I took down all the books, reevaluated them all, and put them back up on the shelf. That's keeping me busy, especially when I find books I didn't know I had. When I find I have duplicates. Anyway, so that's where I am with the no buy. It's a no shopping year, and I don't want to follow. How can I put this? But I'm always going to say something that's a little incendiary. If you're doing a depth year, and you're doing a no buy year, and then you're looking for excuses to break your no buy, or you're looking for exceptions to break your no buy, you need to ask yourself why the fuck you're doing a depth year, and why did you impose a no buy on yourself? Because that's as unhealthy as going on a diet instead of a lifestyle change, and then making excuses and commiserating with your group of friends that are all doing the same thing about how you cheated and you had ice cream and all that kind of bullshit. That's not healthy, people. That is not healthy. And so I won't engage in any of that conversation with anyone, which is why I've been keeping to myself, because I'm not going to join a Facebook group of people doing a depth year who all they talk about is how they cheated on their depth year. I have no interest in that. That's garbage. In 2015, I made a commitment to myself, and it's 2022, and I am still committed to my lifestyle change. The same thing goes with this one. I started this lifestyle change. I'm committed, and I'm not looking for partners in crime or enablers who are going to make me cheat myself, because that's what it is. I'm cheating myself. So, in case you're wondering, that's another reason I'm laying low. I can't with that stuff. Mental health. Another goal that I made for this year is focusing on mental health, and all the things I've talked about so far, they fall onto that. And it's mental hygiene, more than, mental health and hygiene. To make choices that that protect my mental health, to make choices that are beneficial to my mental health versus, choices that aren't. Saying no when I mean no. Saying yes when I really mean to say yes. Not taking passive-aggressive bullshit from anybody. No, I don't have time for that. If people are passive-aggressive with me, bye. People that are looking to take up my time to talk about problems that they have no intention of fixing, I don't have time for that. If you want support because you're looking to fix your life, I'm there for you 100%, but I'm sorry. I'm always happy to help people, but if you're not ready to help yourself, I have no time. No time for that. And finally, physical health. And my looking after my physical health, because like most people, I have some health challenges. I have to stay on a ketogenic diet in order not to be a diabetic. And I'm not on it for weight loss. I wish I was, but I'm not, because I love to eat. But I don't care to be diabetic at all. So right now the focus is to continue with what I'm doing. And, I try to maintain an anti-inflammatory kind of ketogenic diet as well because I have a little inflammatory arthritis situation going on that I'd like to prevent it from getting worse, limiting me, whatever. So that's the recap of how my goals are evolving. I wanted to mention, like I had said, like I'm looking, I'm wanting to read more. Well, I'm not giving myself a number. I have to read so many books and I have to read these books. You know what? For me, it's a win if I pick up a book on my shelf and I read it 15 minutes, half an hour, and then I put it back on my shelf. I consider that reading. I can't put a number. That artificial restricting, I have to read a book a week, or I set a goal for myself. I'm going to read 10 books this month. Fuck, I don't even have time to I don't have time for that. I don't have time to read 10 books a month. If you have time to read 10 books a month, I envy you. Because I got to tell you, I don't have the time, and the little time I have, I do not have the mental capacity. Sometimes I'm just like, my brain just needs to rest. Next. And then things I'm focusing on my home, making it more comfy. I know some of you you're watching me and you're going, Minga Grace, like we've been in a pandemic for 3 years. Not for me. Again, healthcare professional. I didn't have, oh my God, sorry about that. I didn't have time off at all during this whole thing. So I didn't have the time to, set up my environment to make it comfy and cozy and all this stuff. So I'm doing this now. I laugh because, I have friends that did have time and I kind of envy them, but not me. Me, it's been work, home, back to work. I'm not complaining. I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful. Because I'm also very cognizant. I see people. I work with the public. I see people every day that lost their jobs, are in financial ruin because of how the whole COVID restrictions have affected them. So yeah, I said COVID. I don't give a shit. I'm not monetized. I can say whatever the hell I want. All right. So I'm focusing on making my home more cozy when I have time. So that's where my energy is going instead of frittering my time like I used to mindlessly consume content on the internet. My motto this year is create more and consume less. Curating. I'm also spending time curating what I have. Not the crazy decluttering of that state I would be in where I was so stressed that, I would declutter as a stress release. More curating. Things that don't work, whichever room of the house I'm working in, what doesn't work for me gets donated and gets replaced with what really does work if I need to replace it. And creativity. In whatever form I can manage it. The last couple of days, started wearing makeup again. And you know, a little bit of creativity there. Doing my makeup, using colors that I normally wouldn't use. Just having fun. So there's that. We want to talk about some decks? Let's talk about some decks. So far, this year I have not purchased a new deck, which by this time, and even last year, by this time I had already purchased, I don't know, maybe 10. I don't know. I wish I'd kept track of that, because it would be interesting to look back and see. So I haven't purchased a new Tarot Oracle deck in 2022 yet, but I did purchase a deck. I'm lying. See? I'm lying. I'm staring right at it. I'm lying to you. I'm lying to myself. I was looking at some old photographs, and I saw there was a photograph of me when I was probably 20 years old or something like that, in my first apartment. And I'm sitting on the sofa, and in front of me were a bunch of these backs on my sofa. So it was no small feat, my friends, to get my hands on a deck of B cards, B playing cards. They're made, here we go. They're made by the same company that makes Bicycle. Or Bicycle makes these cards, or whatever. It was quite the hunt for these. It was crazy. I ordered some off of Amazon, and I got stupid casino branded cards, which, no, I sent them back. Because I wanted to see this imagery again. This is the deck. This is the deck I started playing cards with, like solitaire and stuff like that. I had a blue one and a red one, and now I have a blue one and a red one. And I've gone back to reading playing cards just for myself. At the end of the video, I'll talk a little bit more about what's happening with me in terms of services and all that. But I've gone back to picking up the playing cards, and I gotta tell you, if you are a playing cards person, and you're psychic, if you're medium, especially if you're medium, oh my God, people, these are just too much information. Already, I don't need cards, but I like cards, and I use them to slow it down. But playing cards are the worst. Tarot is beautiful for slowing down the download. It gives you time to absorb the information and to kind of mentally prepare yourself for what's coming, and then it gives you time, it buys you time, it just slows it down to be able to translate it to the person you're reading for. These hit hard. They're too fast, too loud, too much information. But I'm enjoying picking them up again, and I just, I moderate a little bit. Moderation is key. What does Oscar Wilde say? Everything in moderation, even moderation. All right, and I'm going to share the decks I've been using the most this year so far. And here's a chance to talk about my word of the year. My word of the year, I pulled it. I got it from this. This is my living altar. The living altar oracle. And this is one of my favorite things I ever purchased. This I didn't see it in a video. I came across it by fluke on the internet, and I got it. And when I received it, I opened the guidebook, and the guidebook is not. I'm not the target audience for this guidebook. I'm mom aged to the target audience of this guidebook, but I kept an open mind, and I'm glad I did. And I've had to do some work on it because it's independently produced, and it needed some. I have to put tabs so that I could find the cards I'm looking for. I had to do some editing of the guidebook for it to work for me. But anyway, these are massive, and I'm not gonna talk about card size and all this stuff. I'm gonna save that for another video. This one I just want to do a little check-in and let you know what I'm up to. But these are massive. I think they're 5x7 or something. I think they're 5x7. They're massive. I can't shuffle these to save my life. Well, I can shuffle them if I do this, but it's not ideal. But I use these a lot, and I don't use them for divination. I literally use them for creativity. I use them for meditation. And this year, I used them, and I picked my word of the year with this deck. Which, when I got it, I thought, what the hell? Like, what does that mean? Like, maybe I need to pick another card. And I said to myself, no. Let's see how it fits. Boundaries. So boundaries is my word of the year. And oh my gosh, I cannot think of a better word for a better energy to come into my life than boundaries. Boundaries applicable to everything. I didn't realize until I meditated on this word how much of me was spread out everywhere. I didn't realize until I meditated on my word of the year how much I was letting in, like letting through my how loose my boundaries had become, and how elastic my boundaries had become, and how much I was letting into my personal space in terms of professional relationships and personal relationships, and especially having to do with the internet. And so it was pulling this card, and it has been on my altar space since December 31st, and it's going to go back there after I'm done with this video. And it sits there, it stands there, and I see it every day when I'm getting ready for my day, and I take a moment to think about boundaries and to stay mindful of my boundaries and other people's boundaries as well throughout my day. At the end of the day, I reflect on how I may or may not have maintained my boundaries. It it has made me conscious of boundaries, of my boundaries and boundaries in general. And it's been a really good experience so far. It's been very eye-opening. It's been very it's very there are things I didn't even realize boundaries apply. And I was feeling depleted, and I didn't realize how much just firming up my boundaries was able to give me some respite. One of the things I did this month in February was I took down my services page on my website and Contact Me, because I needed to disconnect a little bit and to focus on the here and now, and I just needed some space. I needed some boundaries, because for years and years and years, for decades, I've been very accessible, and I just needed to take a step back and just have a little bit of a buffer between me and the world. So that's one way that. So I took down my services page. I have not offered spiritual counseling, spiritual consulting services, nor readings. It's 8 months now. I think the last one I did was June of 2021. Just because I have been doing this for a very long time and I needed a break. I don't feel that it's fair to you to not have me at my best when you're consulting me. It's not fair to you, and I won't do it. If I am not in the space, if I'm not in the right space, if I'm not feeling it, if I'm feeling like I'd rather be alone, or if I'm, because I am quite introverted, and I do enjoy my alone time. Enjoy is probably not even the right word. I need my alone time, my solitude I need my solitude in order to recharge. I don't think it's fair for me, nor for you, the querent, to not have me at my best. It's not fair for me to force myself to do something that I'm not feeling like fully present to do, nor is it fair that you get like a half-baked me showing up for a spiritual consultation, or there are people, I love you all, you've been so good to me, who waited weeks for me to send them for me to do and send their email readings last year around the time where I was just burning out. And I wasn't burning out from doing readings, I was just burning out from having not enough time. Last thing I wanted to talk about are the 2 decks that I've been using the most. One of them, honestly, you're gonna say, yeah, okay, we get it. You love your Thoth. It's my Thoth. This is I call this my grubby greenie. Grubby because, it's got, it smells like the incense that I store in the box with it, and it's got the oils from the incense cones, and it's I've been using it every day. It's 2 years now, so It's just over 2 years. It's my daily draw. No, I wouldn't say daily draw, because there's something about the Thoth Tarot that if I have a card on my on my altar that I drew a few days ago. Sometimes it's a week that I'm working with the same card, because a different facet of that card will reveal itself. A different facet of the energy of that card will reveal itself to me over the course of many days. So, and I really, I get a lot out of it. But there's another deck that I got it. So I got a box for it last year. Finally, I got a box for it, and it's one of the few indie decks that I can recommend. And again, I'm going to say something incendiary, people, but the vast majority, and I know because remember me, the one who shopped a lot, the one who accumulated a ton of decks and then had to get rid of them. There is no shortage of garbage indie decks out there. And wait, I'm going to explain why. Because people who have no knowledge of tarot are creating tarot decks. And this whole, towards the end of last year, I saw there was like this whole trend of the minimalist looking decks. That right there is not at all what tarot's about. Tarot's not about a squiggly line and it says 7 of Cups. That's bullshit. But I'll tell you, if there's one deck that I would recommend, because sometimes, when I'm using it, I think, oh, I would buy this all over again. It's this one. This is the El Goliath Tarot, and it's independently produced. It is all the cards are hand drawn by the artist, who is a true occultist. So, which is quite remarkable considering this world we live in. This fast fashion, fast witchcraft, whatever you want to call it. Whatever fast term you want to apply to it. This is, I'll just show you some of the cards. But this is hand drawn by the artist and creator. It is a remarkable objet d'art. Like it's a remarkable piece of art. But as far as functional, I said this when I first got it. There's a video somewhere on my channel. When I first got this deck, I said, oh my god, this you could feel the magic in this deck. And it's not one of those I'm gonna say it. It's not one of those decks that are invested in being creepy, invested in their aesthetic. This deck is invested in its symbolism. The creator has a very solid knowledge of tarot, and is able to communicate that through his art. And this is channeled art. I'm not going to accept any other explanation for this. This is channeled art, and it is, again, it's personal taste, right? I never thought I would even like a black and white deck, but this is incredible. And I thought it was incredible when I received it. Mine is starting to get soft because I use it daily. Look at this card. And this is as thick and matte as I'm going to tolerate. Okay? I love this deck. And I use it every day. And this is my upper limit in terms of a cardstock thickness and card size, because I have small hands. I have small arthritic hands, people. And I could still riffle shuffle this. And it's pretty much my limit. I can't riffle shuffle anything thicker or matter than, at least it doesn't have that gross rubberized bullshit rose petal finish. This is a nice satin matte. Look at this devil. This is a card. This devil card took me, I spent a lot of time with this one because last year was my devil year. This year's my tower year. On my birthday, I entered the star. I'm looking forward to it. So I spent quite a bit of time with this card, and the more time in, I didn't get it at first. And then when I got it, and I went through my devil year, it's very, very educational. So yeah, that was me gushing over my El Goliath tarot. Like I said, hundreds of decks have passed through these hands. So what remains has to really be something special. Well, I think I said what I wanted to say. I think I think I talked about everything, right? Let me see. Yeah, I talked about everything I wanted to talk about in this video. Thank you so much for coming by. I have quite a few videos I need to record. I have some books I need to talk to you about. One of them is, if you go to my community tab, it's a Bridget anthology that I was so honored to have been, my submission was accepted, so my submission is in there. It's a beautiful Bridget anthology and published by Wiser Books. The reason I'm being coy is because I'm tired and I don't want to say the title of the I think it's Bridget's Light, but it's on my community tab. So I wanted to talk to you a little. I'm going to do a video about that. I have Miss Aida's newest book, and if you want to do a search for, just do a search for hoodoo on my channel, and you can see all the bullshit comments that people are leaving me without having even watched my video. People reading comprehension, and people are just looking to be racist assholes. It's a book review, and I got people leaving me hate comments about how this white face is not allowed to be practicing hoodoo. It's a fucking book review. But anyway, if you want to be entertained, search hoodoo, find that video. It's my review of Miss Aida's book. So I'm going to be doing the same thing with her next book. I'm going to review her book because I freaking love it. And so I got some book review. I have a couple of tarot decks lined up to do honest reviews of before they leave at the end of this year, because I'm hanging on to my purgatory box of losers, and I might be doing a couple of honest reviews on some decks, but I'm going to do the books first. And yeah, and I also have I have a folk magic video that's that I need to record and talk to you about, and because I'd like to hear what you have to say about some things that I want to discuss. Some resources that I'm finding are really interesting, and some ideas I've been having, some experiences I've been having. So yeah, so that's it, because now I'm just filling the space with air when I should just wrap it up, people. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you stuck around this long, wow, you're awesome. I really appreciate it. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you're safe. I hope you're healthy. And take care of yourself. Bye-bye. And have a beautiful day.